Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We are at Baxter Cycle again. Today we're going to take this little hot rod out for a ride. This is the 2022. We did a little video on this a while back, but we're going to do a little comparison video between this 2022 and this one. This is my La Rosa. The things that are supposed to be different on this motorcycle are the seat is supposed to be more comfortable. It's got a larger windshield. It's supposed to be a little wider. I don't know if it's any taller. The rear rack is supposed to hold more weight. The front racks are different. These are made of a heavier tube and they're angled differently. If you look at these, you can see the difference. Also, they're supposed to fix the idle problem. That's where the bike dies unexpectedly when you pull the clutch in and, you know, the stoplight or something. They put a day tripper on here, and I'm actually going to try that out today. I got the app on my phone, so we'll have to see how that works. Another interesting thing about this is where my bike had a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty. These new ones have a, mine's a 2021. These new ones have a 3-year unlimited mile warranty. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take it for a ride. I'm going to stop somewhere, give you my opinion on what you should do to Himalayan if you buy one, what kind of things you should add to it. We'll drive it back and then I'll tell you what I think about the add-ons, the improvements that they've done to the motorcycle. Let's get out there and ride. Wahoo! Welcome to Marnie, Iowa. We're on a 2022 Royal Enfield Himalayan. See what kind of turning we can do here. Notice how it does not stall. Very smooth power. I like it. I like it. Look at that, huh? That's one thing about these Himalayans. Look how tight that turns. Just absolutely tight. Wahoo! I love it. I love it. We're going to do a little tour of towns down here. Backroading Iowa. We're going to stay on the pavement because it's been raining. Boy, this is smooth. The fueling on these newer ones are definitely smoother, and I've read that was the case. Clutch works very well. We're on our way to Walnut, Iowa. You can see by the windmills we got a little bit of wind today. One of the things I wanted to find out about this motorcycle, there's some more windmills, with these large hard bags on is how it performs in the wind. And I would say at this point, it's really no different than my bike with the soft bags. If we had a terribly windy, gusty day, I'm sure there would be a difference. But for now, I would say it performs admirably. We are entering Antique City, USA, Walnut, Iowa. They've got a beautiful bakery here, loads of antique shops. Just a fabulous place to come for a weekend. The motorcycle's running great. Look at this. Craft stores, all kinds of neat things. Analog shop, whatever that is. This is an analog motorcycle. Maybe that's where we should go, huh? The bakery, I think, is right there. Yeah, Robert's Bakery. Beautiful little town. Alrighty, y'all, we are in Avoca, Iowa. Nifty little town. I think we'll turn right here. This is Highway 59. Old Buick. The bike runs very well. It's very smooth. I wonder if Enfield has done something to make our compass is indicating a true north. Has done something to make the fueling work a little better on these bikes. I know the stalling problem is just non-existent on this particular motorcycle at all. I haven't had any trouble with that whatsoever. Notice that at 60 miles an hour indicated, the bike was tacking about between 48 and 4900 RPM. When my Himalayan indicates 60, I'm tacking about 4600 RPM. I don't think there's any change in the gearing. What I do think is there might be the speedometer on this particular motorcycle might be accurate. My phone tells me that when I'm going true 60, when the GPS tells me I'm going 60, my bike is tacking 48 to 4900. So this speedometer might be actually a little more accurate. Well, let's keep on rolling. Harlan. Howdy y'all, we are at the Oak Ridge Habitat area in Shelby County, Iowa. There's that hot rod Himalayan I've been riding around, just having a ball on it. I said I would go over some of the things I would put on a Himalayan if I were to buy one new. Himalayans are very well equipped. There are people that tour the world on these things and they do very little to them because they're so, they're so good out of the box. But I'm going to tell you what I have done on mine and what I would do and what I'm going to do in the future. One thing I would do is put the raise kit on here. This is a very tight amount of space here. I've gotten in the mud before. You get mud in here and the front wheel locks up. So I would do that. If I was going to do a lot of mud, I'd remove the fender altogether. if you raise the fender, which you should, I would immediately get a cover for the headlight. What I noticed with mine was once I raised the fender, I'd be driving down the road and the thing would spit gravel and the rocks would come back, and, you know, always wear a helmet when you're on a bike. So, you know, anyway, that would protect your headlight. Next thing I would do, and they're the same vein, I would get some sort of grip covers. Bark Busters, Royal Enfield has a nice set that I'm thinking about getting for my bike. A Chirby's, whatever brand you like, but something like that would be a good idea. Also keeps your hands warmer in the winter. I have mirror extensions that move my mirrors out. I think that's something on this bike it doesn't seem that noticeable. On this bike it doesn't seem like that big of a problem, but I do notice more of my shoulder in the mirror. On my bike the mirrors are moved out to where I can see almost none of my shoulder on there. But that's a very good thing to have. This is a really important one. Get a big foot for your kickstand. That is just too small on a bike that is meant to be taken out on the gravel. You need something for that. The one I have is 2 3/4 inches wide and about 3.5 inches long. The bike does come with an oil guard. They make better ones, you know, that'll cover fully. So that's something to think about. Another thing that I think I am going to get this on mine is they make a master cylinder cover for this thing. And that's probably a good idea if you're going to do a lot of off-roading. This bike is made for that. You know, if you're buying this bike as an ADV, you're probably going to be spending a lot more time off the pavement than you are on, because that's really its focus. Another thing that you should always have, or all of us should have on any of our bikes, is a good place to carry something. And this bike has got these massive bags, and I haven't had any trouble with them so far. It's not really that windy of a day, but I can tell they're back there, but they haven't been a big hindrance. I have smaller bags on my bike. When you put these bigger bags on, you have to put this rack on, move your blinkers back the whole bit. Other things you can do as far as carrying stuff goes, you can get bags that go here. You know, and if you're just going to go day riding, you need a place to put bottled water or a sandwich or whatever. That'd be a good enough spot. I've got the little saddlebags on mine, and that works really well for me. Let's see, what else can you do, or should you do? Really not much. The bike is very complete as it is, so of that list of items that I've told you, you know, really the big ones are the ones in the front of the bike. The protection for the rider, the headlight, the hands. Another thing I did on mine, by the way, is I put a bigger windscreen on. And this windscreen, I would say, does work better than the original windscreen that I had on my bike. This is I think it's slightly taller and certainly wider. So it's a good product that way. This bike rides very well. Okay, I've got an opinion on the differences between this bike and my bike, and I'll tell you about that at our next stop. Wahoo! Something I want to throw in right away is the suspension on this feels very tight compared to mine. I don't know if that's just because I have 8,000 miles on mine, or if there's been a change in the suspension, but it feels pretty darn good. The seat feels good too. I know the seat is supposed to be firmer and more comfortable, and I would have to agree with that right now. On mine, you tend to roll forward on the seat very easily. This one seems to be more of a horn on the front. I do like that. Maybe I need to get a different seat for mine, huh? Road closed ahead. Well, let's see what's going on. Looks like some bridge work. That's the edge of Atlantic over yonder. Let's go see where it takes us. There's a detour right here. That's another nice thing about this bike, is how easily it changes direction. No outlet. I'll be the judge of that, by golly. I'm on a Himalayan. Atlantic Municipal Airport. Authorized vehicles beyond this point. Look at that. Beautiful red Cessna. Is that a 72? Yeah, that's a 172, I believe. What are those called? Skylanes? Beautiful red. I love the color. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Notice how this motorcycle doesn't die. The 2022, they fixed the stalling problem. I don't know what that middle plane is there with the 3-blade prop. That looks like it's got some power. Let's keep on rolling. Wahoo! We're turning into the older part of Atlantic, Iowa. Pretty neat streets back here. Nifty old town look, isn't it? Coca-Cola. Atlantic, Iowa is the home of Coca-Cola for Iowa. Green Bay Lumber Company, 1915. Very interesting. Very nifty looking building. I mean, look at that tile roof, brickwork. I love it. I love it. Hey, you know, that'd be a good place for a picture, wouldn't it? I've had put about 150 miles on it, something like that, and it's a 2022. And the goal of the thing was to compare this bike to my 2021. And there are quite a few differences. By the way, we are at the site of the first train robbery in the West. This is where Jesse James robbed the first train. He unbolted those exact tracks from the track, and the train came over and tipped over. Anyway, back to the bike. We'll take it piece by piece here. We'll start with the nav system. I have a phone problem right now. My phone decided to give me crap yesterday, and I can't get my phone to hook up to the nav, so I can't tell you anything about it other than it looks really cool, and I like it. The windshield is supposedly a little taller and it looks wider, and I say it works really well. I'm very happy with that. Can't complain about it. Here's a good view of it from the front. The bars, these bars are slightly heavier and they're cut in where mine come down like this. These cut in. They're supposed to give you more leg room. I believe that. The seat is supposed to be firmer and more comfortable. And I will tell you that I agree with that totally in the amount of time I've driven it. On my bike, you tend to scooch to fall forward as you ride. This bike, there's a little more of an uplift to it. And I think that makes a lot of difference. I think I might try to get myself one of those for my motorcycle. The brakes were really good. You know, as good as any good Himalayan. The suspension is nice and tight. It's a brand new bike. I do love these tires. These Seat back tires. I had one of these on mine and I wore it out. I think it took 4,400 miles and I got a big staple in it. They got great feel. I didn't do any gravel on this bike, so I can't tell you how, you know, this particular bike tire did on gravel, but the bike tire I had of mine had great feel on gravel. My bike has a much larger tire on it now. Dunlop Trail Max Mission, I think is what it's called, and it weighs about twice the weight of this, and it's a very stable tire. Not that this isn't. And mine is also, it takes a little more power. So this bike feels like it has a bit more power, and I think part of that is the fact that it has a lighter back tire. The engine, here's the big one. The engine is, it's got the same beautiful engine, but they have cured the stalling problem. Not that on my bike, once it broke in, the stalling problem really wasn't that big of a deal, but it was there. This has no hint of it whatsoever. None. It's just, and I would also say that they've made the fueling smoother. A friend of mine has had, he gets a new one of these every year since I think they came out in 18, so he's had 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So he's had 5 of these. And he says every year he can tell the difference on the fueling and how the bike runs. And I would have to agree. This thing is much smoother than mine is. And mine runs really well. So I like it. I like it a lot. What am I missing, y'all? They've got the bags on these hard bags. It's not a real windy day today. You can see the windmills over yonder turning, but it's not too bad. I say that they're good bags. And unless it was super windy out, I don't think it would make a difference in handling. The bags are interchangeable. You can put this bag over here. So if you want these to open, like right now, these open this way. If you wanted it to open like this, you'd put this bag on that side. And that would take care of that. That would give you that. But aren't those a handsome looking bag? Other thing that's different too is this rear rack. The one on my bike does not have this plate on it, and it also is rated at a lower. This is rated at 7 kilograms. Mine is rated lower. I think it's rated at 5. And what they found with the older Himalayans is sometimes these would get cracks in them, and so this is supposed to alleviate or solve that problem. It's a great bike, guys. I've just had a ball on it. Unfortunately, I have to take it back now. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But anyway, life's good. It's a rough job. Somebody's got to do it. Life is good. Get yourself out there. Get yourself on one of these. Get out there and ride whatever you can get yourself on. Life's too short not to. Wahoo! Enjoy.